All right, so in this lesson, we're going to be dealing with order types, right? Orders and order types. Now, what an order is the ability to execute something within the market. And this is actually very important because obviously your entire goal within this space within being a trader is to execute something within the market, to execute a trade or to close a trade or whatever. Now, there are different types of orders, and you can see some of the different types here, right? These are the main ones. There are one or two others, but these are the main ones, right, that you will see and most likely deal with. I'm going to break down each one and what it does, why it's important, etc., etc. So the first one obviously is the most important one, because without this first one, you can't do any of the others realistically, right? Or you wouldn't understand any of the others, I should say. So an entry order is you asking the market, right, to enter into a trade. That's essentially what you're doing. Now, it is very important to understand an order is always a request. It is always a request. Right? I'll give you an example. If you wanted to sell, that means that somebody has to be willing to buy from you. If you wanted to buy, that means somebody has to be willing to sell. So if there's no liquidity in a market, you cannot enter because liquidity would be buyers and sellers. A market is made up of buyers and sellers. If the market isn't moving, it's because there aren't any buyers and sellers, right? The more liquid a market is, the easier it is for people to sell to the buyers and buy from the sellers. Does that make sense? So an order is a request. You are making a request to sell something. That means somebody has to be willing to buy from you. So if you, let's just say you wanted to sell USD CHF right here, right where it is, you will place an entry order, a sell by market, order right here. And it might look something like this, where you enter and you have your stop loss on the top of the order because it's a sell. You want to make sure that if the market goes up, that your stop loss is up high to kind of prevent you from losing more money than you want to lose. And obviously you want the market to go down. So therefore you're looking for profit to the downside, right? And obviously vice versa for buys. If you wanted to buy here, it's the same thing, but vice versa, all right? You want the market to buy from this area. You would have your stop loss to the downside because you want to make sure if the market decides to go down, that you're preventing yourself from losing too much pips, too much money, right? And obviously your profit would be to the top side. You want money, you want the market to go to the top side, right? So that's an entry order, also known as a market execution, right? Meaning you are executing at the market, you're executing an order in the market at its current price, right? Now, that is important because you can execute an entry at different locations, right? And I'll explain that shortly. But we need to get back to these here, right? And these are the most important ones. So the next thing you have is a stop loss order. And as I just mentioned, your stop loss, let's just say we wanted to buy, your stop loss needs to be in an area where you want to make sure that if the market goes back this way, that you don't lose more money than you intend to lose. So your stop loss in terms of buys will almost always be, actually always be lower than your entry. So this is your stop loss. You can control this here, right? Typically, me personally, I use very tight stop losses. So my stop loss would usually look like that. But some people prefer to use wider stop losses, 20 pips, 40 pips, 50 pips, 60 pips, whatever. That's entirely up to you. But my recommendation is to use as tight of a stop loss as possible. And you'll understand why as you go through, the process of learning how to do this, right? Now, for sells, obviously, it's the exact same. It's just opposite, right? Obviously, if the market is selling, if you wanted to sell and the market is buying, obviously, right? You want to make sure that you don't lose more than you want to lose, right? You can control how far or how wide you want your stop loss. If you wanted it to be 50 pips, remember we spoke about the pips. If you wanted it to be 50 pips, you could do that. Personally, mine is almost always 10. All right. So that's stop loss orders. And then you have take profit orders, which is also equally as important. I don't use take profit orders, and I will explain why very soon. But take profit is literally the exact opposite of a stop loss. So on one side of the spectrum, you have, if you wanted it to buy here, right? On one side of the spectrum, you have your stop loss, which is this. And then you have this here, which is your take profit, right? Meaning you want to make sure that when the market gets to a specific area, it closes you out of your position in profit. This way, you don't have to manually monitor the trade and close the trade yourself. The trade automatically closes once it hits this area, which is, it can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. And I'll explain why very soon, right? But you remember, a take profit will always be in line with your profit, and a stop loss will always be in line with, you know, your ability to lose a trade, right? Now, let's move on to these. These are limit and stop orders. Now, a lot of people get confused with limit and stop orders. So let me try to break it down as simple as possible. So we'll start with the buy limit and buy stop orders, right? First things first, you have a buy stop order. Now, a buy stop order simply means you want to buy the market at a certain area once the market gets to that area. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say you built an analysis and you said that when the market gets to, say, this area, you are speculating, you are analyzing that the market is going to hit this area and continue. So what you might do is you might execute a buy stop order right here. You have your stop loss placement like normal, right? And then you can have, obviously, you want the trade to profit. This trade is not activated until the market, right, the bid price and the ask price hit your actual order, right, your buy stop order. Only then it becomes active. So in other words, when you execute a buy stop order, nothing happens until the market gets to the area in which you want it to continue buying from, right? And then you have a buy limit order. Now, a buy limit order is actually kind of, it's more or less the same, but it's a little different. Now, what if you were speculating based on your analysis, you were speculating that the market is going to come down here. And as it comes down here, it's going to hit this area and then bounce. You can then put a buy limit order, right? Right in this area, you have control of your stop loss and you're speculating that it's going to bounce. So you're buying from a low area, right? So buy stop is when you think the market is going to go up and continue. You might put your buy stop order right here. And a buy limit is when you think the market is going to go down and bounce. That's buy stop and buy limit, right? So that's that. Very important to understand, but it's very easy to kind of grasp, right? Now, on a similar spectrum, you have sell stop and sell limit, right? Sell stop and sell limit orders. Same principle, just the opposite in terms of the directional bias. So let's just say you wanted to have a sell stop order because you are speculating based on your analysis when the market gets down to this area that it's going to literally keep going. You might put a sell stop order right here. So you then execute a sell stop. You have control of your stop loss, and then you have control of your take profit. If the market keeps going, your sell stop activates and continues. Based on where the market is right now, right here, if you execute a sell stop order at this price here, if you were to execute a sell stop order, nothing would happen. Because again, the market is not at this area currently. Only when the market comes down to this area, that is when it actually activates your execution of the order and then becomes open. The trade is open, right? Now, what about a sell limit? A sell limit is literally the same thing as a buy limit, where you are speculating based on your analysis that the market is going to go up, and as it hits this area, it's going to sell from this area. So then you might say you're going to put a sell limit order at this high. You have control of your stop loss, and you're speculating that it's going to go down, right? So remember, sell stop is you are speculating that it's going to go down to an area and continue. Sell limit is speculating that it's going to go up to an area and drop, right? So that's sell limit and sell stop. Easy enough. It's nothing too hard. All right. Many people get confused with what they are and what are their purposes, but it's very, very simple to understand. Right. At least I would think so. Right. So the last one we have is a trailing stop loss order. Now, remember I told you at the start of this lesson that personally, I don't use take profit orders. And I'll tell you why. Me personally, in my experience, and I have quite a bit of it, I have realized that if I was in a trade, let's just say I was in a trade, a buy from right at this area. I had my stop loss, my original stop. Let's just say I had my original stop loss at, let's just say 10 pips, right? And my original take profit, so 10 pips here, and my original take profit at 40 pips, right? As the market hits my take profit, it's going to close out this trade. Therefore, I'm no longer in this trade. Granted, I got my profit. So this trade is closed. I got my profit. I closed the trade in the plus. My account is up. But now I am no longer allowed to stay in the trade and take advantage of movement that is continuing. And if you realize, you would realize that the market continued. So from the 40 pips, the market continued another 70 pips. So that 40 pips that I originally got, right? What I would do at this trade already closed off. I'm no longer able to capitalize on this further 70 pips that I would have lost out on. So what I do is I don't have a take profit at all. And what I would do is as the market begins to move in my favor, I would then begin to move my stop loss into the direction of the market. And sometimes you're going to be taken out and sometimes you're not. But what it does for you is it protects profits that you already have. And if the market is to come back against you, you don't end up losing anything at all. Now, I go in way more in depth in this concept in later classes, maybe not even in this program, but I go way more in depth on trailing or stop loss and how to do it. But I'll tell you something. Personally, it has literally helped me in a way that you would never understand until you begin doing it, right? Me personally, I don't ever agree with using a take profit because you're essentially starving how much money you can actually make, right? So these are the different basic order types and what the orders might do, what are their purposes and how they work, right? But like I said, there are one or two other ones, but these are the main ones that you would really have to understand. Other than that, I hope that you understood, the meat of this class, this lesson. And yeah, see you in the next lesson.